The next DeFi opportunity I want to go over is Berachain. I'm just going to show you all about it, and in the following video, I'll tell you why I'm bullish on Berachain. But suffice to say, I am short-term bullish until I do more research. Let's dive in. So this is Berachain's token price. It's $5.88, which is a nice kind of small number. This helps in terms of unit bias. Someone sees this and they think, oh, I wouldn't mind buying this, as opposed to Bitcoin at 100K, or Sol at 200, or ETH at 2,500. Market cap's low, FTV is low, and Berachain is a layer 1, so like another blockchain, like Solana or Ethereum or BNB chain. It's a layer 1 and it uses its own token for gas. So you use the Bera token as a method to pay token transfer fees and transaction fees. You do not use ETH on this. You can still use ETH in liquidity pools or whatnot. Now, where I want to go and play specifically for this first video is hub.berachain.com. This is like the official Berachain docs and websites, etc. And we'll cover all this stuff that relates to validation another time. But specifically, the yield on WBera and Honey. Honey is their stablecoin, which is minted from USDC, so it is collateralized by USDC. Your only risk here, of course, is smart contract risk. If it's not immediately obvious, maybe I didn't mention it, this is an EVM, so an Ethereum virtual machine, which is probably the best thing to have for DeFi because you can just copy paste smart contracts. You can take something open source and you can deploy it on an EVM network. It's far harder to build on Solana or Sui, Aptos as an example, because there isn't the 1,000 other projects that have done something earlier that have been audited. You can basically borrow people's audits in a sense. You still get your own audits, of course. There's a couple of things that would be worthwhile. I mean, if you're bullish on both assets, this one. If you're bullish on both assets, this one. But specifically, I'll be jumping into this. Now, this yield will come down, so I'm not going to be too excited for it immediately. BGT is like Bera governance token, which you can swap 1-for-1 for Bera. And now this is not crazy, but it's a good place to start. It's a good place to start. Maybe you also get an airdrop. Maybe we'll learn some things along the way. So I'm just going to show you how we get amongst it. We're going to be using deBridge because I think deBridge is probably the best bridge there. I'm going to be using MetaMask. You can use Backpack Wallet. It's not my preferred wallet, but some people will like it. They now support Berachain. And I have in this wallet here, which you can track if you really want to. There's not much alpha though. I have some Sol that I want to move across for USDC. I bought some Sol when I had some funds when it crashed a little while ago. I'm going to sell that Sol. It's not on Solana. And then I'm going to bridge across here. So we'll go to deBridge to start off with, and we'll go bridge. And I do actually have a referral code, I think, so I will put that below. You can click on that link. MetaMask, otherwise the link's just debridge.finance. Connect away. I'm going to go from ETH BNB chain. I'm going to see if I can take across my wrap Solana and convert it into USDC, but we'll see how we go. I'm going to change this to Berachain, and I can either do wrapped ETH or bridged USDC. I will do bridged USDC. I'll send that max, which is around about $1,000. If it's not good, if it's too much in terms of slippage, which it might be, I mean, it's $4 worth of slippage, so that's fine. If there was too much slippage, you'd go to whatever DEX it was, dupe.ag on Solana, or you'd go to Pancake on BNB or whatever, and you'd swap it first. There will be a little bit of a charge. We'll be paid a little bit here. And we also, I believe we get some Bera token to start off with. We get a little bit of gas to start off with. So I'm going to confirm this trade. I've connected the wallet. It's all going to be in the same wallet. To prove this, so I'm just going to do it this time only. When you're doing EVM stuff, you need to approve how much you can spend before you spend it. If you do unlimited or infinite approvals, it means you don't have to do that the next time, but it's not as good in terms of security. So there's a couple of fees here, nothing crazy, but it is what it is. Looks like there's a little bit of an arbitrage trade as well, in a sense. So I'm going to get however amount that I said. Oh, we've got an error. Let's try this again. Max, see if it works. If it doesn't work with whatever you're trying to do, then you can just, as I mentioned, just go and swap it on Pancake and then just go and bridge USDC to USDC, and it goes a lot faster. Let's see if this has been broadcast and if someone's going to pick it up and say $6 in fees. Woo, that's a bit nutty, but whatever. Okay. You can also go from another EVM. You don't have to go from this. You can go from, well, you saw them all there before. You can go directly from Sol. You just have to connect your Solflare wallet, and then you have to connect your Berachain wallet. And your Berachain wallet, by the way, is just your EVM address. Just this one right here. All right, that should be good. We should have approximately $1,000. Now we have to add in the network. Quite often you can just search Bera and it should come up. For some reason, MetaMask isn't supporting it there. Additional, it's not here. You could add a custom network and put in the details yourself, but I've been using this from 2021 and I'm just going to use it like this. There's even another way sometimes where you can connect to like a main website. We'll try it here. We connect our MetaMask and then it will add all of the details for Bera as well. Maybe that will work. Connect, select Berachain network, and it will add us. Yep, this does it like this. But if that doesn't prompt you in the future, go to chain list, type in Bera, and it adds all the different RPC addresses, all that sort of stuff. You connect your wallet and you go from there. But this worked fine. Now, let's have a look here. So we have this very small amount of Bera. So we're good to go. And we can use this swap tool initially. We're going to swap some into Bera and we're going to swap some into Honey. So we'll come up to swap here. This amount of gas, I don't know how long it's going to last. So my preference is for my first transaction to go and take some USDC E. E just means that it's like a bridged. It's not like native from Circle. And I'm going to go 502 into Bera. That way I've got Bera that I need. And there's a little bit of a fee, of course. We have to approve USDC. We can improve this infinite if you've got a bit of trust here. It's just not best practices. So if I do it, I'm doing it to save time. And it's entirely up to you. A little bit of price impact. The slippage tolerance, I don't like that slippage tolerance. It means we could be front run. So we'll go to the settings and we'll change this to like 1%. There's probably not a lot of MEV or anything like that happening over here. So I doubt it would actually make any difference, but I don't want to take that risk. Confirm transactions pending. It's nice, fast blockchain. It's more centralized, like 40 something validators or whatever, but it still gets things done. Then we'll swap this other stuff to Honey. In the next video, we'll cover like exactly what is Honey. We'll approve this, but Honey's essentially this stablecoin. And it's all bear themed. Honey, Bera, bears. You can see that. We'll cover that in another video. The next video. Swap that here. Sorry, before I just swap immediately, it's always a good idea to see like, are we losing out on slippage? No, not really. Tiny price impact, which is completely fine. And we'll confirm. Now this has been audited. If you want to look at the audits, I'm not going to list them below, but you just look at the docs. You go to the docs, you search for an audit. You grab that audit, you put it through ChatGPT and you ask, explain it to me, unless you know what you're talking about or whatnot, then you can just have a look at it yourself. Great, we've got some USDC and some Honey, and now we'll go have a look at the pools. The only pools that are worth going in to are the ones with the little Bera BGT logo, I think it is. This rewards. So these get extra rewards. They get a pool APR just by swapping, and then they get this extra reward, which will be going down. Now, compared to like playing on Meteor, where you can make 100% in a day, quite often you'll lose though, you need to be mindful. Or if you watch my previous video on Binance, like the crazy returns over there are like 2000%. This is just a little bit more low risk, because if you really want to, if you had a little bit of size and if you had a bit of trust, you could enter this and you could put a small short position on a centralized exchange to short the Honey token. Sorry, not the Honey token, to short the Bera token. If you did it like that, then that would mean that if Bera started to fall, your actual value of the liquidity pool would fall as well, but you'd make money on the short and you're still earning that 100+% APY. So this is the kind of thing where it's safe enough in my opinion because of the legacy of EVMs and audits and whatnot. It's safe enough that this would probably, be worthy of like 50 grand into liquidity. And then in a year's time, you're going to make 50K. You're not going to probably keep it that long, but Bera could also go up in value. My point is, it's a DeFi opportunity. I kind of like it. I like it a decent amount. I wish I covered it more before it went live. We're going to go with Bearer. We'll go with Max. Keep amounts balanced. You don't have to, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to go with just 85, so I've got a little bit of stuff for gas. I don't know why it doesn't accept it like that, to be perfectly honest. We'll go with 84. 84.9, no. 84.5, no. 84. 84 it is. Unsure why it's like that, but I'm okay with that. We're putting in all this here, and Max here. No, it doesn't want to do it. Let's go 502. Okay, 501. Okay, 500. Maybe it only wants to be balanced. So this is Max. No, Max. It's a bit unusual, I won't lie, but I'm okay with that. Approve honey. We can approve infinite if we are feeling trust here. I'm just going to do it just so I don't have to do it next time. Prove infinite, but it is better to do it each time. Add liquidity. So what that means with the infinite side is if there's an exploit, then they can withdraw the maximum you've approved. So the smart contracts could take 497 honey or whatever. But if you've approved infinite, even if you haven't put it all into this liquidity pool, they could take from your wallet 10,000 or how much honey you had in there. Perfect. Now let's stake this in the reward vault so that we start getting this BGT. Click here. We don't have to stake it here. We can stake in other options, but this is what I want to cover for the first video. So we'll approve it in here, then I'll say stake. And this is, as it says, it's earning a little bit each day. Nothing crazy compared to Binance, but a better yield than what you'll find on like a Camino pool on Solana, which is what a lot of us would probably start off with. 20% is 20, but in DeFi, like sometimes you want to capture and look after and look for those yields that are like 1,000%. This is not 1,000, but I think this is just a start. A TLDR on why I'm actually bullish on Bearer is it's proof of liquidity. It's actually trying to attract more liquidity. And the reason why I think ETH is failing is because it's not doing a good job in the DeFi sense of attracting liquidity, getting it utilized well. I think liquidity begets liquidity. You can see this in markets, in traditional markets. Money flows where it's treated best. It's always been the case. Money will bridge into Solana if there's great opportunities. It will bridge out of Solana if there's a better opportunity somewhere else. We can see that right now on Binance Chain. This, I still think, is worth looking at. And we will get this BGT token, which we can then go and swap it. It'll come up into rewards. We can swap it, but I'll cover that in another video. So that's the tutorial I wanted to do. I'll cover this and many more DeFi things in more detail. I personally am far more interested in DeFi, have been for years. So I'm not the person to cover AI agents as an example, which are hot in terms of narrative, but they're losing market share. And DeFi is starting to rebuild that kind of trust. So if you want to follow and learn about DeFi, I'm the person you definitely want to follow. Make sure you're subscribed. Remember, nothing's financial advice, just educational, tutorial nature. And check out these videos over here, just how to do different things on different blockchains. That's pretty much it. Catch you in the next video.